know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. As you can probably tell, I am still a little bit sick. I think I'm pretty much over it now, just kind of on the decline of it. So I'm glad to be back making videos. Like I said in my last one, I'm sorry for all the Fortnite spam, but I kind of had to if I wanted to continue uploading. So today we got some Call of Duty ranked play. We're playing Search and Destroy on probably my least favorite map as far as competitive maps go, USS Texas. And I kind of maneuver that pretty well in this game. I play pretty well. I choked some streaks later on, but either way. Today, I want to talk about the retired players that, may come back onto the scene. And, is it beneficial to retire and then come back and play? There have been a lot of people that have been kind of retired since Boots on the Ground games have kind of left, right? You had the 3 years of Jetpacks. A lot of them probably played through at least the first year, potentially like half of the first year of Jetpack games. And then they just kind of stopped playing. And, you have guys like Nadeshot, Sensor, those Rambo Ray, TP, Merc, all those guys. And it was like a lot of them tried to come back. And none of them really did that successfully at all, right? I mean, you look at TP, he's on the coach of Optic Gaming. Nadeshot owns his own brand now in 100 Thieves, and they're not in Call of Duty. Merc, I believe, works for MLG. Rambo Ray, I think, works for some company. I don't know exactly doing what. But then you have a lot of guys that went to casting or to, behind the scenes work, and they're not playing anymore. So was that beneficial for them to retire during the Jetpack games and then come back in Boots on the Ground? No. I mean, even if you didn't like the, advanced movement games, you had to play them. You had to. Or else you're just going to be forgotten about. People aren't going to know your worth. They aren't going to know if you're still good. Obviously, you know how to play Jetpack games. But it's all about establishing yourself back to that level of, like, okay, if you were a superstar in Boots on the Ground games, and then you go to Jetpacks and you suck, and then come back to Boots on the Ground and you're great again, then okay, fine. But a lot of those people retired during the Jetpack games, tried to come back, and they haven't done anything, right? Sensor had his own brand, Next Threat. I don't think they've done anything. I don't even know if he's still playing. He tried to join E6. They didn't make the Pro League, so they broke up. Like I said, Nadeshot wasn't in there. TP didn't play. And a lot of guys that were before, they just aren't on good teams. Another guy is Proofy. Like, look at him. He won a gold medal back with Optic at the X Games and Ghosts. But where did that lead him? Nowhere. He retired. He was probably one of the best players, like, in Boots on the Ground games. And he just went to nothing, right? I mean, yes, he still has talent. He still has, everything that you need to be a pro player. But he has to find that good team around him in order to come back and play. So it kind of sucks in the fact that, some of those guys were like, okay, they're good people, they're good players, but if you retire during that Jetpack era, then you kind of screwed yourself, to be honest. Like, if you wanted to come back after that, and you just kind of kept playing, but not at a top level, then okay, fine, take a little step back from competitive Call of Duty, get yourself a couple of years, just kind of do life events, I guess, still play Call of Duty so you still have people talking about you. But a lot of those guys, like I said, they just screwed themselves, and it's kind of sad. It really is, because they were on top of their game. A lot of them weren't, the best of players, but there was a lot of guys that were, starting to get decent in Boots on the Ground. They go to Jetpacks, and their stock, most of them went way down. Or the people that came up in the Jetpack era, guys like Gunless, 3/4 of E United, a lot of guys kind of came out of nowhere because they were playing at an insane pace. And now look where they are. They're not on good teams, or they're struggling, or, whatever the case is. And they form different teams to try to, make the best Boots on the Ground game as possible. And then a lot of them still aren't doing very well. Is it the fact that they were only Jetpackers, or were they only good at, you know, Jetpack games? Because a lot of these guys were like 15 years old when the last Boots on the Ground game was there. A lot of them recently turned 18, or, you know, whatever the case is for different players. And a lot of people that stayed on top for the last Boots on the Ground game, like, are still at the top, right? They were still at the top during the Jetpack games. They were still at the top during the last Boots on the Ground game. And a lot of them stayed at the top during this game. I mean, look at Optic, you look at, you know, you look at FaZe, look at Luminosity, you look at, I guess, Splice. They're still pretty good. I mean, they're not doing the greatest today, but, you know, they still have a good fighting chance, right? They're still a good team. Then you look at some of the little bit lower tier teams, like Aches has always been around, and, you know, the rest of that team, and it's like, okay, these guys have the skill. They declined a little bit during Jetpack games, but now they're starting to make their name again, and, you know, it's good to see. However, guys, you know, even though some of these guys, you know, their stock went to garbage during the Jetpack games, a lot of them are coming back. They're starting to make their name for themselves again, and they're bringing their stock back up to, you know, what it once was, and it's good to see. So I hope those guys that once had a lot of glory, you know, come back and do so. But as this video wraps up, this gameplay, I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap it up here as well. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, see you next time.
You forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like, I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you and never